peace, environment, climate, animals, and the feminine principles. Peace is a byproduct of harmony. It's balance. Our world is very out of balance, having been dominated by fear-based greed and control, also known as the fear-based masculine principles, for centuries. All of the global challenges we face are a symptom of this imbalance, especially our climate. What's missing are the feminine principles. And it's not just women who have been suppressed, but the traits of compassion, intuition, softness, nurturing, love of nature, and receptivity. These have been considered weak and a hindrance to progress by the fear-based masculine principles, but are in fact the strongest forces on earth and necessary for all beings to thrive. Not one of us would survive infanthood without receiving these. They're actions of love, far-reaching, eternally healing, and life-giving. Our planet, Mother Earth, has supplied us with all of our needs and desires, but our greed is destroying her. Fear is destroying her and all life. Facing our global challenges, fear asks, what can we do to avoid extinction? And has a very shallow pool of ineffective, short-sighted, and self-serving ideas. Where love asks, how can we live in harmony and thrive with all life, sharing Earth, while supporting her, which has access to the most creative ideas based on sustainability, trust, and inclusion, rippling into all areas of life, for all life. It's balance. One of the most egregious industries born out of this earth-dominating fear is animal agriculture. In the U.S. alone, 9 billion land animals are crammed into facilities for fattening before an assembly line, cost-cutting, and competent slaughter. There's no love. There's no sustainability. There's no conscience. There's no God. There's no feminine principles. There can't be. It's cost-driven, and these beings, given that we're invested in their dead bodies, aren't afforded a sweeter process. And why should they? These conditions their artificially shortened lives are subjected to are very stressful, painful, and cruel. We already know that animals are intelligent, and they too experience fear and joy, and they grieve, just as a dairy cow grieves when her calf is taken away so humans can consume her milk. She didn't ask for this. We got her pregnant so we could use her body as a factory. Zero consent or consideration for how she and her young are impacted. As a result of this food-animal process, these beings have toxic hormones and the energy of neglect and abuse in the byproducts of their unhealthy and unloved bodies. How can a population of humans embody peace when this is what they're consuming? You can't. Also noteworthy is the inconsistency of how we regard animals. We invest countless hours watching cute or funny animal videos every year, playing with our companion animals at home, and gifting our little ones toy animals. There's no denying an innate, heart-motivated connection with animals. The only way to support this animal agriculture is to wall off this flow of love toward some animals that, only by programming, we have dubbed are less worthy. We see this type of mental segregation in human history, with racism, sexism, classism, assigning an arbitrary value to one based on the body they were born into. For our world to know peace, we must come into balance and apply the feminine principles to our choices. From there, we'll see a shift in the design of our culture such that these critical principles are woven in to all industries, products, decisions, and regulations. It's balance. Our steps toward balance must first include acknowledgement. If you've not witnessed what goes on with animal agriculture, I encourage you to watch the short video narrated by Paul McCartney called Glass Walls. His opening line is that if slaughterhouses had glass walls, we'd all be vegetarian. And if what you witness causes you to want to close your eyes and look away, I invite you to ask yourself why. Investigate the sensations in your heart. Are you feeling anger at me? Is there a desire to negotiate out of feeling what you're feeling? And if we aren't able to watch what we're supporting, maybe we shouldn't be supporting it. I feel confident suggesting that we each suppress our own feminine traits in order to support this industry, and our society encourages us to do so. When we each stop suppressing these traits in ourselves, our choices change, our opinions and ideas change, our responses change, our bodies change, our hearts can finally begin to open more, our body harmonizes from the freedom. We'll have access to ideas that transform worlds. we're then in the flow with life. It's balance.